guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here to work with our collage scrapbook again. So far we've obviously done these pages here. So we're just going to continue on in exactly the same way, just, you know, working through the book basically to make a whole sort of book of collage that then you can, you know, transport with you to, you know, do like TV crafts, or like, you know, when you're lost your mojo or anything like that. So we're just using up little scraps and odds and pieces that we've got laying around. So it's also another really great scrap buster. So again, I've dug out some more little bits that were buried under my pile on my desk. So yep, we'll just continue on exactly as we did in the last video, just literally tearing up odds and pieces and putting them down on our page. And obviously, as I said before, I mean, the majority of my scraps tend to obviously be, you know, from printables, because of course that's what I'm working with. You know, a lot of the time I'm printing things multiple times while I'm trying to get my printables, you know, as I want them. So, you know, your scraps may be from scrapbook paper, they may be from printables, they may be from, you know, magazines or vintage books, you know, whatever form your scraps take. I think this project is still perfectly valid and usable. You know, I think you can use it, whoops, for whatever form your scraps take. So, and again, I know I said this last time and failed miserably. I'm really going to try not to overthink this, and I'm really going to try and just pop my scraps down any old places, you know, and well, not any old places, but you know what I mean. I'm going to just try and do like an eclectic mix and not get so hung up as I normally would on, you know, being matchy and having things yeah, just matching and coordinated. I'm going to try and be a bit more eclectic in, you know, how I'm putting my scraps on basically. So, you know, that again, hopefully you're going to then end up with a really eclectic mix of pages that not only will form a really nice, interesting book to look through, but also be a really nice, interesting way to work, because it's going to push you outside of your comfort zone and making things that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of making before. So hopefully it's going to be a really nice way to work, and, you know, as a byproduct we'll also use up a whole ton of scraps and such. So, oops, nearly popped that in upside down. Honestly, you have to watch sometimes, like, you know, text just looks like text, doesn't it? And it's only when you sort of look closely and think, oops, nearly went in upside down. So let's just pop that here, I think. Yeah, just trying not to think about it too much. You know, and hopefully that's then going to produce some really awesome things to work with in a way that, you know, perhaps wouldn't have thought of working with things otherwise. So it's just like a nice way to keep things fresh, isn't it? And yeah, just a different way of working. Obviously got that piece that we used last time, so perhaps get rid of the pink. That little bit of pink that was showing. Perhaps I'll put that sideways on. And obviously, you know, I can trim these off once they're down. I will trim off around the edge of the pages. So if you're kind of thinking, oh no, you know, it's hanging off the pages, if you saw the last video, you know, I did then go round the edge and tidy up. So I'll probably do that again afterwards. So let's just fill in some other bits and pieces. Okay. So yeah, I mean, really fun way, I think, to just use up some scraps and, you know, get rid of a ton of stuff. And super relaxing. You know, doing this is really relaxing. So hopefully you guys are, you know, maybe going to join in, and, you know, hopefully you would find it just as relaxing as well. So yeah. Let's just see. I've got this whole sheet. This was actually under my desk, but I mean, under my desk, that's a whole nother situation, to be honest. So I don't know about the, you know, crafting with what's on my desk. There could probably be like a whole series now of crafting with what's on under my desk, sorry, as well. So yeah, so I have piles everywhere. Piles under, piles on, piles everywhere. But, you know, I mean, we work how we work, don't we? And, you know, I think we all kind of have our own ways of working and do things as they suit us, don't we? So, you know, for me, I find that quite inspirational, having all my rubbish everywhere. I realise that's not to everybody's liking, and, you know, not everyone would like to work that way. But for me, I do find that, you know, quite a helpful way to work. So, I mean, I did the 7 days on my desk because my piles had just grown a bit too out of control, even by my standards. So I can tell you, they were whopping. You know, for them to even be out of control to me, they were obviously pretty huge. So, but ordinarily, I quite like having big piles of stuff everywhere to just be able to pull from. Oops. I mean, lots of people wrote in the comments about, you know, when you put things away. And, oh, you know, for me, what a fatal mistake that is, because put things away translates to, in my case, you know, never to be found again. So it's just like a mistake, really, for me. So and actually lots of people sort of commenting similar things, you know, put things away translates to never find again, and that really is very frustrating, isn't it? Right, quite like how that looks, so I think I'll just tear that down and pop that there. I mean, I know that, you know, I mean, Rachel obviously does loads of collage. Gail, she does a lot of collage, doesn't she? I mean, collage isn't like my area, if you know what I mean. I tend to overthink it a lot, and I think the trick to collage is just do not think about it and just kind of go with it. And yeah, I struggle with that as a concept, so it's not really my biggest area of, I don't know, I don't know what the expression that I'm looking for is, but yeah, you know, very much in early stages still with my collage. But this is a really fun thing to do, these books, because you know, you're really not thinking about it at all, and you know, just, or I'm certainly really not thinking about it at all, and I'm just literally, you know, bunging things down. So I might just put that there, like that. I mean, the only thing is, this may be that this piece is a little bit too big, which I do notice sometimes, you know, like in collage, if you put things on and they're really big, when you cut your collage down, you know, your piece that you say use this for would end up maybe only being this. Do you see what I mean? So there's like a fine line between using those pieces that are really tiny and pathetic and using pieces that are so big that actually there's not really any collage effect going on once you've cut them down. So that may be that's one of those kind of instances. So perhaps I should just like break it up with something else as well. Maybe like, I don't know. You know, maybe just have something like that over it so that it's not completely like one thing. Oh, that's just probably a bit strange, isn't it? Oh well, let's just go for it, because I did say no overthinking. Just going with it. So, and to be honest, what looks strange now might not look strange when we come to use it anyway. So, yeah, that's the point, isn't it? Okay. Right, let me just check that I'm filming, that I'm in frame and all that stuff. Oh my goodness me. I mean, I have to say the light is kind of over the clock a little bit, so I can't be sure of this, but I'm pretty sure that the clock's like 12 minutes. So, oh my goodness, that is like a record for me. Done that whole page in 12 minutes. That's amazing. So I'm just going to, again, trim this down around the edge. Like that. Just so's the book's, you know, staying in some sort of format of the book. Otherwise, I'm just going to have scrappy pages everywhere hanging out, and it will become, you know, like so messy that actually it is no longer sort of very pleasurable, but actually just hideous and, you know, not nice at all. So for me, I just think keep it into like its nice kind of book form. Oh, that looks so nice. I really love how that one turned out. That's probably my favourite one actually so far. Okay, so there's another one there. So I'm just going to, actually I'm just going to glue that down because I've kind of touched it a couple of times and it's come up. So that's just irritating me now. Right, press that down. Okay, so let's do another page. Oops. So again, just turn that over and we'll do another page. So, I mean, can you see how quickly we're racing through these scraps? I mean, as I say, you know, some of these were actually off of my, you know, underneath my desk now, but, you know, we really are using a lot of scraps and pretty quickly. So it's quite an awesome way to use up a ton of stuff. Just trying to work out whether this is that way or that way. Okay, let's just pop that one down there. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you're, you know, having a nice time crafting. I mean, aren't we just so lucky to have our craft as our hobby, you know, because, oops, at the moment life would be pretty rubbish and boring, wouldn't it, with no crafting. So we're very, very lucky having our lovely hobby, aren't we? Again, I've got like these double-sided type bits here, so then it's just a choice of which sides to use. Let's have a look here. Okay. So hopefully, you know, if you fancy having a go at this, you know, I hope you've managed to find some sort of suitable book that you can use to, you know, be able to incorporate this type of thing. I mean, I think honestly that, you know, there's loads of books I think, you know, that would be suitable. I mean, I know we talked about before, like cookbooks and stuff like that. I think would all be pretty good. So yeah, maybe you've managed to do something like that. And hey, how's it going? Are you clearing lots of scraps? Are you know, making some dents in your desk piles? That's the question. Actually, I'm not over keen on this colour book page for the moment. So there's that book page that I was using last time. No, I can't find it. Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it, sometimes? Hang on. Because obviously I've done other videos in between this. I did my mass making video, so that's why now I can't now find my book page, because it's obviously got buried when I did the other video. There we go. There we go. Right. That's a better colour, isn't it? I think. Yep. Oh my gosh. Why am I so rubbish at cutting? Or tearing. It just was rubbish tearing, wasn't it? Let's just go along there. Well, I guess it doesn't really make any difference, does it, which way I go? Either way, I have mucked that up in my tearing, so let's just do that. Okay. And should we... see if this green would look any good on here. Oh, it makes it a bit drab, that green. I've got this one. That might be quite nice. Maybe up there. Let's just pop that one down. Like that. Okay. So I wonder how long it's going to take us to fill this book. I'm planning on not working from anything in the book until I've used the book, if you see what I mean. So yeah, I'm hoping that I won't actually work on anything until I've actually used up everything. So yeah, we're going to use before, or you know, make before using. Make before using is the plan. So I've just got this one here. I'll pop that there. Not really sure how well that goes, I've got to be honest. Now I'm overthinking suddenly. I was doing okay, and now suddenly I've just gone into that, you know, that overthinking mode. Funny how that just happens, isn't it? You know, you're doing okay, and then just suddenly you go into it and it's like, oops, I'm overthinking now. I love this paper. I've had this for a really long time. It was in like a lovely kit, which now I can't actually now remember which kit it was. I was going to say it was the, oh, what was it? Probably loads of people now can remember the kit it was from, and I can't think now for the life of me. Oh, what was it called? Paris something? French something? It was something French-ish. Oh gosh, what was it called? Oh, I can't remember. I honestly can't remember, but I absolutely love it. And again, it's one of those one of those papers that I have been hoarding and couldn't quite bring myself to use. So yeah, it's kind of time now to stop hoarding it and just use it, for goodness sake, you know. So yeah, hopefully we will use it here. I actually bought, I think, an 8x8 and a 12x12 of this, whatever the paper line was. I think it was a Do Crafts one. It was just beautiful. I really, really loved it. So yeah, whatever it was called, I really, 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 really loved it. And I've probably still got loads of it, like, buried, because again, I just hoarded it so much. You know, again, that seems to be the thing. If I love something, I'm not going to be using it, of course, because why would you want to use something that you love, you know? That mad concept going on again. So no, if you love it, hoard it. So that's what was obviously going on. And yeah, I did hoard it, you know, I did hoard it. Just going to try that here, maybe. Or maybe down here. Right, let me just glue this one on. Yeah, I'll have to have a look actually in my piles of papers in my big cupboard and just see how much of that paper I've actually got left, because I mean, I didn't love every single paper, obviously, you know, because very rarely do you buy a paper line that you love every single paper, but I certainly did love lots of it. And yeah, I'll have to have a look and dig it out and see what ones I have got left. Probably tons, because probably I just didn't use many at all, you know, because obviously I liked them so much. Right, let's just again glue this one down. Okay. And again, I just snip this off at this edge like that. Oops. Okay. So I'm just going to pop this up here. Okay. Yeah, so I hope that everybody has been keeping busy. I'm probably repeating myself because, of course, you know, there's nothing new going on in my life. So, oops. No doubt repeating myself because I've got nothing new to report. Right, let's just have a look whether we want to have like a tiny bit of this. This is very texty, isn't it, this page? Very texty. You know, because I have lots and lots of different things that are text on here. So let's just pop this here and then I'm going to find something to put here. Yeah, I love this colour green. It's probably like an olive green, isn't it? But that, is that upside down? No. That's one of my favourite shades of green. I mean, I love green. Green is my favourite colour. But olive green is just gorgeous, isn't it? Which is so weird because actually as a child, I have to say, I did not like olive green. I would have considered that like a boy-y type colour ridiculous, I know. But yeah, I probably would have considered that a bit of a boyish type colour. A boyish shade of green. But now I love it. So that's quite nice, isn't it? So perhaps we'll pop that there. Okay, so that looks really pretty. There we go. Yeah, I pretty much like all shades of green, and I know that I'm repeating myself definitely here because I can hear myself saying this before, but yeah, the only shade I don't really like very much is that British Racing Green. It's not my favourite. I don't really like that colour very much, but yeah, aside from that, I pretty much like most greens. I even love that lime green. I know I'm probably in the minority there, but you know, I even love that. Well, it's just so fun and cheery, isn't it? I mean, I'm not saying I would wear that because, gosh, I would look hideous in that colour, but it is a really nice, vibrant, cheerful colour. So, yeah, I even like that. Just pull this one back in because I'm thinking could do with a little bit more bluish type colour. So let's just glue that down a bit, just where I peeled that up, obviously. Okay, pop that one down there. Okay. Right, let's see if we can have a little bit of blue perhaps going on down there. So again, let's just tear that down. Like that. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? So what should we put in this like space here? Let's just have a look. See what we need to pop in there. Maybe some sheet music or something. Maybe that. Let me just tear this down here. I'm not loving that straight edge. So if we had that in there and that one there. What do you guys think? Do you know what? Let's just put it down because the whole point of this was, what did we say? Not overthinking, not overthinking. It's really hard, isn't it? If you are like a natural overthinker, to not overthink is, you know, like goes against the grain, doesn't it? And it's like, oh, I don't know whether I can not overthink because, you know, that's what I do. That's how I roll. So, yeah. Right, let's pop that one down there. So, been watching a new drama on BBC One. It's called The Nest. It's good. I've only watched episode 1 so far. It has been on again, but I didn't watch it. Oh, I do love a drama. Yeah, that's been really good. And the other thing that we've started watching, because the kids have, you know, set up a trial to Netflix, we also have started watching The Stranger, which I had heard lots of people talking about The Stranger. So, yeah, we're finally able to watch it. Oh, it's really good. I think we're like halfway through the second episode. So, I will keep you posted how we're getting on with that. It's, yeah, I don't know quite where it's kind of heading. I don't know. Yeah, it's good anyway. Enjoying it so far. Okay. So there's another page done. So again, really fun, you know, really nice page, came out really nicely. Again, using, I'm so sorry, I'm always jogging the table lately. I do apologise for that. I don't know why I'm jogging it so much lately, but sorry. Right, that's another one. So let's do one more quickly. So I'll just have a sip of water because I'm feeling a bit dehydrated now. Right. So again, I mean, I'm probably now using a little bit similar colours everywhere because obviously, you know, those are the pages that I happen to have laying about now, which I guess is, you know, a little bit boring, but, you know, because I'm trying to just methodically use things up off of my craft area, I guess that's a bit how it's going to be, isn't it? Because now I've got little bits left over, obviously, from the last couple of pages. So I just want to now use those up a little bit. So just pop some glue down there. Like that. Not such nice weather now. It's okay. It's not raining or anything. But I mean, it was lovely. And I don't mean today, but you know, it was lovely back when we first, you know, got our change to our lives, and yeah, unfortunately it's kind of deteriorated since. And I know we always talk about this, but you know, it makes such a difference, doesn't it? When the sun's shining, everything just makes you feel a bit better, even if you're not going out. You know, even though we weren't going out, just the fact that the sun was shining is quite uplifting, isn't it? So yeah, it's a bit more drab now. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I've got those ones now. It's just, oops. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm now using up the same old bits of paper, so you know, they're going to have very similar colours on these pages, but I mean, I guess that's just to be expected, isn't it? You know, that's kind of how it goes sometimes, but so my son, my eldest son, he, you know, he's doing his apprenticeship, and so he's obviously not at college at the moment. He does like day release normally, and so he's doing it at home. I don't know in what form, but he's in his room today, you know, at college, so to speak. So he's in his room doing his college work. So, I mean, again, wow, technology is just so incredible, isn't it? I mean, I assume they're like streaming his lessons, or, I mean, probably not live. Well, maybe live, who knows? I don't know, you know, because I haven't seen him obviously since he's been in his room this morning doing his lessons, if you see what I mean. But yeah, who knows, maybe it is live. I kind of thought probably they're pre-recorded, but actually it would make more sense if they're live, because then I guess people can interact and ask questions, but I'm not sure. Not sure whether it's live or not, but you know, we're so lucky, aren't we? Because the technology just enables so many things to still be carrying on. I mean, albeit obviously in a different form, but you know, lots of things that ordinarily would be carrying on are able to take place in some way, aren't they? Which is amazing in itself. It's just incredible. So I think this is a bit yellow for this for this collage. We have this one here or here. Let's have it here, I think. Oops. Okay. And of course they're putting on lots of like educational programs on the TV, and you know, again, I mean, what a great time for, you know, lots of YouTube channels to really kind of take off, because obviously there's lots of people now able to do like online lessons for kids and things like that via their YouTube channels. So, you know, it's kind of like, although obviously a terrible time for lots of businesses, it's also, you know, hopefully an exciting time for people who, you know, like a chance to shine, I guess, you know, like in other arenas or, you know, situations where otherwise they might not have actually got much of the opportunity. So yeah, but I just think, wow, we're just so lucky to live in the times we do, aren't we? You know, because years ago this would have been just like hideous, being just shut in with no forms of communication. I mean, again, you kind of think of like war times and just think how hard it must have been for those families, just, you know, with their loved ones away, you know, fighting, and to not have any contact with, you know, their sons, their husbands, their, you know, children. It just would have been really hard, you know, for everybody. So we're incredibly lucky, aren't we, to have the resources that we have these days. We just have maybe that strip there. Just having a look to see what other bits of paper I've got here. I am trying hard not to overthink this, but it is hard. It is hard when you are, you know, an overthinker. I like this here. The only thing is, what am I going to put in this corner? So let's just have a look. I've got this stripy paper. I don't think that probably has any place on this page, but who knows, maybe it does. Maybe that's just what we need. Something really different to like shake it up. What do you think? You know, sometimes it's nice to do something different. We play it so safe. Maybe we should just have something really different here. Tear that down. I've probably torn it too small now. Yep. Now, you see, why do I never learn? Why don't I measure anything? Just mad. Madness. Unless we have that there. What if... No. Oh, come on now. Right, I've got a bigger piece of this, which I could have here. So let's just tear that down. What I could do is have that there, like that. Or, actually, what if we have that there and that there? How does that look? No. Right, that there. I'm gone into overthinking. Why has this happened now? Why has this happened suddenly? Right, okay, I'm just going to go for that. I must stop this procrastinating and just get sticking, just get gluing down onto the page. So let's pop that one there. Okay. And we're just going to have this one here. So again, just gluing that down. Just glue it there. Okay. Like that. And then we're just going to have this one here like that. Okay. I mean, again, actually this piece here is quite a thick piece, and you know, probably I should have kind of tried to separate it down and make it a bit thinner, but you know, it's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to try and, you know, tear this down a bit so it's not like in my way as such. So just because otherwise I personally find that a bit distracting when it's hanging off the edge like that. Okay, right, got that one. Going to try and put that up there, and then what about, nope, oh come on. Right, just wondering, could we have it like that? Okay. That there. Then we could have, oh, no, that's not big enough. Maybe that there. What about some more sheet music? Where is my sheet music? Oh no, come on. We haven't got much book page on here, have we? Have that under there, maybe. Maybe like that, in fact, right there. Right, I'm going to just pop this one down here. So let's just pop this one down. Okay. Whoops. And then I'm just going to pop this one here like that. Okay. And then here, I think, just tear that down there a bit. I think we'll have that one there. Now, what are we going to have in here? Shall we try a bit of this? Just poking out. That's quite nice, isn't it? I'd like a little bit here. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just have like a small portion. Okay, just pop that on there. That there. Oops, that might need to go up the other way. Okay, that's better. So I'll just glue these down. Or would we prefer that under? I prefer that under, I think. So just pop that down. Whoops, okay. Then we'll just pop this one down here. Remember, we're going to be trimming off, you know, around the page edge as well, so that will tidy it all up quite a bit. Okay, so now just wondering here, oops, let me just, we have that like that, and then no, that's not big enough. So if we have that piece there, oops, that piece there, that piece there, or do we want this piece here? Might be nice to have it going the other way, mightn't it? Or in fact, I might just like it in this little space here. Just a tiny bit showing, I think looks nicer. Then it's just this section here, which, what do I want to put in there? Maybe that. And then what as the final bit? What do we want in the final piece? Oh gosh. Tear this one down. Well, that's quite nice, isn't it? Right, let me just get rid of some of that white from around the edge of this. Again, a bit like the working on my desk for 7 days, I actually don't believe it, because my pile actually looks worse now. Which, you know, I have not been pulling more bits in, honestly. So why would my pile look worse? I think it's because I've disrupted it. You know, like where I've obviously been rummaging through and pulling bits out. So bits are now like, you know, moved about. But it actually looks worse, which, oh my gosh, can you just believe it? That's just like disappointing, isn't it? You know, when you actually look at your mess and having started working on it, it's now getting worse. But you know, to be fair, I do always think when you're like tidying up or anything like that, it has to look worse before it can look better. So let's just go on that concept, you know. It would all look worse before it looks better. Right, just checking which way round all this needs to go so as it looks, you know, sort of neatish. Right, I'm just going to stick this piece down first. Okay. Yeah, this is very relaxing and calming. Quite nice doing this. And as I say, I mean, hopefully it's just going to be one of those really tactile, lovely books to touch. You know, that's without using it. That's without it actually having a purpose, but it's just going to be nice to touch. So I'm just going to tear this piece down slightly, so that when I lay this piece over, it's there we go. That just fits better then. So let's just pop this piece down here. I mean, I must have got rid of quite a few bits of paper, to be fair, so far. I mean, you wouldn't know it to look at the desk, but I must have done, because obviously, how could I have not? Right, now do we want that big like that, or do we want to just chop that down and just have a tiny bit? Just fold that over and see. Or maybe we just want a tiny strip. Like that. Okay, let's just pop that on. And I'm being quite rigid because, you know, these little bits to the side of me here, I will just put now in the bin. have to say, not sure about this piece. I mean, why has that even gone through my head? Not that piece. Oh, what on earth. Let's put it in the bin, for heaven's sake. Right, it's gone now. It's in the bin. You know, why did that even go through my head? I'm not sure about that piece. It's because I really like that paper. But, I mean, heaven forbid, what use was that little tiny scrap? What use indeed. Right, let me just trim up round my page. Okay, oops. And then just trim up down this side. And this side here. Oops. Okay. So there we go. Pop those bits into the bin. So it's coming up for my shift to go and do my homeschooling now. So I'm probably going to have to call it quits there for the day. So yeah, we've done another 3 pages today. So there they are. Really like them all. Love how they turned out. Really, really nice. So my book is really getting quite interesting now. It's really nice to look through. It's nice and tactile. Yeah, I'm having fun with the book. So it's now taken on a bit the what's the word? Not the appearance exactly, but it's reminding me a little bit of a wallpaper sample book now. But yeah, you can probably see how it's kind of getting fatter. And oh, I just can't wait for it to be like bulging and finished and be able to just flick through it. Anyway, so I hope that you are having fun if you're doing one of these fun collage scrapbooks. And yeah, I would love to see them if on Instagram or something like that. And I hope that you'll join me for the next one to fill another couple of pages. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks, Zen.